Compared to the previous set of draws we dealt with, this set looks very straightforward. No obvious tournament favorites, no heavyweight title clashes. But here's the truth about European nights: the Champions League does not care about logic, it cares about moments. And the history is full of nights where giants collapsed and underdogs became legends. So, today, for more battles, four more predictions, and one big question: will logic win, or will Europe create chaos again? Galatasaray versus Juventus. Let's begin with experience versus ambition. Juventus, one of the oldest and the most historic clubs in Europe, the famous old lady. But recently, the name feels symbolic because Juventus no longer dominates Europe the way it once did. It has been years since they even reached Champions League finals. In fact, the decline of traditional Italian power in Europe is becoming a story of its own. Maybe that deserves a full video one day. Galatasaray, meanwhile, brings energy, atmosphere, and belief. But belief alone does not win two-legged ties. Juventus still has structure, still has discipline, still has European experience. And over two matches, that matters. Prediction: Galatasaray can fight, they can make it emotional, they can make it loud, but realistically, this is where their European journey ends. Juventus should progress. However, progressing is one thing, winning the Champions League is another. Right now, Juventus does not look like a finalist. Dortmund versus Atlanta. Now, this is different. This is not straightforward. This is passion versus unpredictability. Dortmund is a club built on emotion, intensity, and energy. Few stadiums in Europe match their atmosphere. Yet, year after year, something happens on European nights. They fall short, and part of the reason lies in their identity. Dortmund are masters of discovering young talent, developing stars, creating future superstars. Erling Haaland, Jude Bellingham. There are many, but then they sell them. And every sale resets the team's ceiling. It's a brilliant business model, but a difficult way to build a Champions League winning squad. Atlanta, on the other hand, thrives in chaos. They don't respect reputation, they don't fear big clubs. They produce shock results again and again. They are organized, aggressive, and tactically fearless, which make this tie genuinely unpredictable. Over one match, anything could happen, but over two legs, structure matters, experience matters, control matters. Dortmund may struggle, but across both matches, they should edge through, barely. Olympiacos versus Bayern Leverkusen. This is easiest to predict. Bayer Leverkusen, despite recent changes, remain far superior in quality. Yes, the departure of Xabi Alonso has not worked perfectly for either side. Yes, they have lost key players like Florian Wirtz, but even after those losses, their squad depth, their tactical system, their technical system is still far above Olympiacos. Olympiacos can fight physically, they can make home matches uncomfortable, but over two legs, quality usually wins. Clear advantage, Bayern Leverkusen. Anything else would be one of the most biggest shocks of this round. Atletico Madrid versus Club Brugge. Another tie that looks obvious, but Club Brugge deserves respect. They have produced surprising results this season, including a draw against Barcelona. A result that almost damaged Barcelona's qualification hopes. They are disciplined, organized, and hard to break. But Atletico Madrid, this is their territory. Knockout football is their identity. They enter this tie with enormous confidence, including a brutal 4-0 demolition of Barcelona. They defeat together, they suffer together, and when the moment comes, they strike. Over two legs, Atletico's experience is overwhelming. They should progress comfortably without much drama. But here is the truth. Everything we said could be wrong because this is the Champions League. This tournament has long memory, a memory of nights where giants fell, where favorites collapsed, where unknown teams rewrote history. David has defeated Goliath here many times. This is why we watch. This is why we care. And that's why predictions are never guarantees. So, those are the part 2 matchups, more predictable